I'm going to be talking about the 1996 slasher, kind of supernatural horror film, Fever Lake.
Staying at the Kendall place.
Scary shit's been told about that place.
Weird things happen every time someone goes up there.
So, I'm not gonna lie, bit of a selfish pick for this review. I kind of stumbled upon this movie. I was watching Dream a Little Dream 2 on Amazon Prime, and I decided to kind of look at what other films it suggested, and it suggested this one as well because it also has Corey Haim in it. For those of you who maybe don't know, I'm a big fan of the 80s, and especially the two Coreys, Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, and I love Corey Haim, rest in peace. And so yeah, I really just wanted to watch this movie in general, mostly because he is in it, and it is a slasher horror film. So decided to watch it, and then I'd do a review for this one. And this really is like your stereotypical slasher cabin in the woods type horror film. It's about a group of college kids who go to this small town, and they don't stay in a cabin, but they do stay in an abandoned house, which is basically just as bad in the horror world. And they're warned by all the locals not to stay there, that it's dangerous, and of course they do it anyway, and murder ensues. This one does, however, have a bit of a twist to it. It takes more of a supernatural turn. One thing that I really loved was that when it came to the killings, you don't see what it is that is attacking them. They do, and you see the fear in them, and them screaming, and the blood splatter, and all of that, but you don't see the actual attack, which I thought was very interesting and I really liked about it. Having that kind of supernatural twist onto what could have just been a standard slasher film. I will say, obviously, there were some things that I wasn't super keen on about the film. Like I said, it is in the 90s, so you do have stereotype characters. You have the stereotypical, like, Native American character tries to warn the sheriff that evil is coming, and you have to watch out. It can't be stopped, and it can be in anything or anyone. And then, of course, the sheriff doesn't believe him, and just still to the end of the movie, the sheriff is just stubborn and like not believing that the evil just lives there. So we really do have all those kind of like little stereotypes that you kind of have to get past. But I still think, obviously, it worked for the film. I liked the ending. I liked the kind of twist. I did sort of see it coming, but I feel like maybe if this was something that I had seen back when it came out, which of course I was like 6, but still, I feel like maybe seeing it back then, I wouldn't have seen it coming, but having seen many, many horror films, it definitely wasn't super surprising. I feel like it's probably something that has been done before, maybe copied from this film. And there was also quite a bit that was still kind of left that didn't really make sense. And I'm gonna get into spoilers here, so if you don't want it spoiled, you'll not want to watch the rest of this probably. But I didn't like the fact that when it came to Corey Haim's character, Albert, they don't explain why he doesn't remember everything that happened as a kid. And like, I get it that he was a kid, but they cover the fact that he was sent to an asylum and he was released. They don't really, I don't think they say at what age his character was released, that he was released and then he's gonna go back, and they didn't get into how his character doesn't remember what happened from when he was younger. I'm assuming that he was just far too young to remember, and maybe they just never told him what happened, so he just doesn't know. And then they also don't really explain what happened with the third girl, Lisa. Like, I get it that she was like this evil, I guess she was possessed by like this evil spirit, but they don't really say what happened to her. Like, even, and like she was there the whole time. She wasn't a figment of Albert's imagination or anything. Everyone else saw her, as well as the waitress at the restaurant. And that was another thing, is I felt like this movie went a little too long. I feel like it should have ended at the diner scene where the deputy officer and the waitress are talking, and he's kind of explaining to her Albert's like backstory and kind of all that led up to this. And I think that would have been a perfectly good ending scene. I get that they wanted to kind of go into what was going on with the sheriff and the Native American character, and maybe like kind of leave towards there being a sequel for this. That's definitely how it ended, was feeling like there was going to be a sequel to this, which it doesn't. I looked it up and it doesn't look like there is. Maybe it's just something that they didn't get around to doing. I'm not really sure how well this movie did at the time it's coming out. I know that, unfortunately, I feel like a lot of the Corey's later 90s films maybe didn't do quite as well, which is a bummer to me, because I still like a lot of their stuff that they still released during the 90s. But that's just me. Obviously, I wasn't old enough to know at the time. But yeah, so that it definitely ended with it feeling like there was going to be a sequel, so maybe that's just why. But I definitely think that it could have ended a little bit earlier, or maybe went just a little bit too long. But that's just my own feelings about it. But for the most part, those are the main issues that I had with this film. I did really, really still enjoy it. I feel like if you were definitely a fan of the 80s, 90s slashers, this one, it's 96, which is still, you know, kind of on the later end of the 90s. It still has a very 80s slasher film feel, so if you are into those, I definitely think that this is something you will enjoy. I watched it on Amazon Prime. If you have an account and you want to see it, it's on there. Not really sure where else that you could find it. I'm sure there are plenty of places that you could look for it. But yeah, if you can, do highly suggest this one. If you did enjoy this review, please do give it a big old thumbs up and make sure to hit that subscribe button for more horror-related content, and I'll see you guys later with another video.